Something that keeps happening is that when I am in conflict, typically with Rob, the closest person to me, conflict happens sometimes. But when we're in conflict and I'm feeling really heightened emotions, I tend to get really confused and I forget why we're fighting. I forget what I've been thinking that whole time. And I just get really lost in jumbled up thinking and I don't really know what's going on. I kind of wanted to bring this up because I'm wondering if this is part of my illness and it's part of the way my brain is wired to just kind of shut down when it's in overdrive in terms of emotional stimulus. I'm speculating that this would happen with any heightened emotion, whether it's anger in conflict, whether it's ecstatic happiness, whether it's profound sadness. And that has happened in the past too. In intense periods of depression, I will just have these periods of almost amnesia where I don't really understand what's going on. I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know how I got to where I'm at. It just feels very confusing. So the way I typically handle this when it comes up in conflict with Rob is I will just kind of become aware of the fact that it's happening, and I become aware of the fact that I'm still feeling angry. I'm still feeling hurt and all of the emotions involved with being in conflict with a loved one. But I have no idea what I'm angry about. I'm confused. I can't maintain a coherent train of thought. I'm finding it very, very difficult to communicate with him. And so when I recognize that this is happening, I'll just say to him, I'm getting really confused. I don't know what's going on. I can't keep up. And at that point, we typically, take a break, or he'll take some time to kind of walk me through what's been happening in the conflict. And it takes a lot of vulnerability and communication with a loved one to get to a place where you're able to do that in the midst of intense conflict. It takes a lot of, sharing with your loved one what that experience is like for you. And maybe you won't be able to explain it to them in the moment because there's a lot of heated emotions going on. You don't know what's happening. But after the fact, you can kind of take some time to reflect on what's happened and to maybe share that with them, that that's something that happens. So, that said, I don't even know if this is something that other people with schizophrenia spectrum illnesses experience. I'm speculating that this is part of my illness, that this is just the way my brain works, where it just kind of shuts down and gets really jumbled up and confused during periods of intense emotion. I think another thing that has been part of my experience with this is that it can feel very embarrassing to be in the midst of heated conflict with someone where, you think you're in the right and they think they're in the right or whatever, and you're going up against each other like that. And then all of a sudden you just have no idea what your position is in the conflict, and you have no idea what's been going on. You have no idea. You can't form a cohesive train of thought, and that can be very embarrassing. And so that's again where the importance of having healthy, open communication with your loved one comes into play. So I would love to hear from you all. Do you experience this? Do you have a schizophrenia spectrum illness? And is this something that you experience, this sort of confused state that comes about during periods of more intense emotions? I would love to hear from you in the comments below if you have any ways of navigating this and dealing with this. If you would like to see more content from us about what it's like to live with a schizophrenia spectrum illness, make sure to subscribe. And also, if you're looking for an online peer support community, you can join our Patreon page to gain access to our online Discord server, which is the online peer support community. It's been really wonderful watching the peer support community grow and flourish, and so we would love to have you a part of it. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, wishing you and your loved ones good health. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. How should I finish this video?
You should come play on the trampoline with us, because having schizophrenia doesn't mean you're a different person. It just means you have schizophrenia.
Okay.
Okay. Yes! I almost got hit!